Please leave your message for...
How you doing, David? Deputy Messer at the Sheriff's Office. If you want to give me a call back, I did a little research, contacted some supervisors. As of now, I can't really trespass them from the property, but we could discuss that further if you wish. So if you have any questions, give me a call back. Just, once again, Deputy Messer at the Sheriff's Office. You have my phone number. I'd given it to you at the post office there. So, all right, sounds good. Thank you.
To replay your message, press 1. To continue recording, press 2. Your message has been sent. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Hey, very big, God complex, big dick energy kind of vibe. So of course, at the University of Havana, he is gonna bump into the biggest big dick energy guy there is, Fidel.
Go ahead. Miles Wright, William, Robert, Beta, George, Henry, Tom, Crystal Micah, Mary, Ida, Charles Adams, Paper 9, 24, 1981, Shenanigans.
Hello again, Michael. All right, got some good news. So after I left here, I did a little research. You know, obviously called my supervisor, who called their supervisor. Right now, we can't see of any reason to like 86 you from here. That was never my intentions. That's never what I want to do. So, of course, it's a fluid situation. Things could change. You know how because there's different schools of thought on this. Some people are like, oh no, they're absolutely, and then others, no, they're fine. You know, I explained to my supervisor that you guys aren't harassing anybody. You're not, you know, people come up to you, that's one thing, but you're not causing any hindrances. You're not blocking anything. You're not harassing anybody. Nothing like that. So that bodes well in your favor. You're just here peacefully doing your thing. So yeah, as of now, like I said, I have no reason to 86 you guys from here. Mr. Stevens, when he calls me back, I'll advise him of that. I don't think he'll be too necessarily happy about it, but you know, it's kind of where we're at. Because it's like we did a little research. I'll show you the picture.
Oh, okay.
My coworker did some research on like the land itself. You're not gonna be able to see it too well in the sun, but if you can kind of see like the black line, it almost makes like a horseshoe. It's a very faint black line that kind of outlines it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So if we want to get like technically, I guess this would be part of the property, part of the post office property. If we want to get real technical, you know, but because it's kind of not a paved, you know, it's not officially, like I wouldn't know this was officially part of it. It wasn't until my supervisor looked it up on like the zoning stuff. But yeah, you know, I explained to him, you're not causing a disturbance, so we can't think of any reason to 86 you. The only scenario is if I'm going to just go in there just to make sure, hey, apparently this part may actually be part. Are they okay being here? If they're fine with you being here, then at this point, of course, that could change tomorrow because there's way more important people than me here that work for this county, so you know how that goes.
Oh, yeah.
Michael, what's your last name?
MC.
MC?
C-L-O-Y.
Let's see. MC.
Yep.
It's two C's.
Another big C. L-O-Y.
McCloy?
McCloy.
Michael McCloy. Michael, what's your date of birth? What's your phone number? Yeah.
That's make me even less harmful.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just going to document this. So I'll just touch base with them real quick. If they're cool,
Yeah.
so are we. But you know how things go in government.
I don't know if anybody went in and talked to them this morning.
I briefly talked to the clerk. She was super busy. She had a line like out the door. So if they don't have an issue with it, neither do I at this point. Because you're not violating any state law. If they have your blessing to be here, you're not violating state law. I don't know if there's federal stuff as far as doing this kind of things within on government property.
Then the sheriff could enforce.
Well, and like I said, it's not my bread and butter.
No.
You know, mine is typically thefts, domestics, stuff, DUI, stuff along those lines. That's my bread and butter. I've never charged someone on a booking sheet with campaigning within X amount of, on government property. Like I said earlier, I would attack it like a regular trespassing, which we wouldn't necessarily have because I'm sure they're not going to have a big stink of you being here. So that's.
Mike asked, I don't know if he told you that, before we did this, he went in and asked if it was okay.
Okay, yeah. So.
Told me specifically.
Do you remember who you spoke to in there?
Arthur, who stands behind the counter.
Is Arthur the supervisor?
Big old guy. He stands behind the counter. And first he said, "Well, I think there may be a problem because we don't want political activity on it."
Right.
Just a minute. He came back after a minute.
Yeah.
He said, "I checked with the postmaster. The property beyond our parking lot is not ours.
Yeah.
If you're staying in the dirt, you're fine. We don't have a problem."
Okay.
And 10 days ago, a woman who worked here at the post office came out and talked to me. And she said, "I just want to let you know that we've gotten an inquiry from the county recorder, David Stevens, about you being on the post office property."
Yeah.
And she said, "As far as we're concerned, where you are is fine. We don't have a problem."
Right.
So that was confirmed to me 10 days ago, and now all of a sudden.
See, in my opinion, if all that lines up, I have no state crime being committed here because you have permission to essentially be here. So I wouldn't necessarily enforce, a campaign violation. I've never booked someone, never planned to book someone in on anything of that sort. So I'll just, you said his name was Arthur? Arthur, I'll go talk to him real quick. If he says, yeah, they're cool there.
That was January, because we started, we got permission.
Oh, he's not here. Okay. Well, I'll see who the supervisor is.
I've seen him since.
He might be here.
Okay.
But we got permission in January. We've been here 3 months.
Yeah. Sounds good. All right, I'm gonna
I'm sure
try
the
to.
three of us is a-
I'm sure. Like I said, when I went in earlier, they were so busy that. So. How you doing? I don't know. Are you a supervisor or?
Doug's here. You want to speak to him?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, he'll be right with you.
Sure. No problem.
Yes.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Are you Doug?
Yes, I am.
Hey, Doug. Are you okay with those people there with the?
I did not want him there, but I can't. We don't own that property. We got to stay neutral. We can't do anything like that. We can't tell them I know that Robert Wilbur is the owner of this property. He can tell you guys trespassing. But no, I don't want nobody over there because that's where my customers use parking. You know, we don't. The post office don't lease that part.
Yeah.
Our customers
Well,
park
apparently they might. My coworker was able to do a little.
yeah, he showed me the exact same thing. Okay, and I'll explain to the recorder that. Okay, what Robert Wilbur bought this here, bought this here. The guy that owns this property, because he knows I need to be in a parking lot, he's trying to get the post office to renegotiate the lease with him before we can lease that dirt, before we make a parking lot here. So right now, we do not own that dirt. We do not lease that dirt. That's what I gave that guy the Wilbur's phone number. And that's what I gave him the phone number. It's, you know, and if that guy says, you know, says no trespassing, no trespassing.
Yeah, it's.
But that's the thing is, that's the reason why you see the black dirt marks, because the owner of this property did buy that, but we did not lease that yet. I want to lease it, but we had to renegotiate the contract with Robert.
I gotcha.
To put a bigger parking lot in.
Okay. So, like, were these not here, part of it originally?
Originally in the lease, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's because we have. I don't know. We have a lot of access out in the parking lot. Like, you know, you see a car had to park out. We don't have enough room in our back parking lot. So Robert Wilbur knew that, so he bought all that dirt.
Makes sense.
About 3 years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So when they do that,
You know, so like, hey, post office, we got good news for you. We got more parking.
Yeah, but you
Price,
gotta put
price is going to increase,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
good news.
That's
Okay.
the reason why you have the black marks there. That's the reason why, because the owner of the property owns that, but we don't lease that yet.
Lisa, I got it.
That's the reason why you see the fence on that one area, or the fence in the parking lot. That's the reason why it's there, not coming around.
Okay.
We have more
And
parking.
we told the guy out there, as long as he doesn't come onto the property,
We can't do nothing to it.
Right, I got you. Okay, so that lot was an original part of the lease.
No.
It's going to be, hopefully.
Eventually.
We
But
want it to be, because
I gotcha.
even when I tell my customers, I want to take the blue mailboxes here. You know, if you ever see the nicer post offices, you know, I'd rather want them to come in with the parking lot bigger, the blue box after preparing had to come in here, and just go boom, put the elbow mail in the blue box, keep on going.
Yeah.
And I want, you know, fix up the front. I want the building painted. I'm trying to get the building painted. I got a new roof liner for the owner of the building. I'm trying to get the building painted. I'm trying to get my parking lot bigger.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 5 years trying to get it.
It's such a tiny parking lot.
and
It's
we're
the best.
busy.
I know.
For, not compared to Sierra Vista,
But no,
people
that's-
get the
yeah.
word that we're
No, I've lived
quiet.
here in this area, and
Okay.
yeah, it's.
So we've been trying, but no, that's the only reason I said I can't, you know, because what I'm worried about is even if I say you can't be there, he said, you know, and all of a sudden the election's going, there's crooked at the post office, I can't be there, and they don't own that property.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to make sure whoever gets elected or whatever's going on, I'm not part of it. I don't want no one coming in and investigating me or.
Right, right.
You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'm
I
just
got
being
you.
honest, you know, I don't want them there, no.
Gotcha.
I don't want to get into politics, I don't.
It's kind of like, ideally, I don't want them there, but I don't necessarily have the authority to 86 them.
Because I
And
want-
if we do that, then, I mean, we literally, for every flyer that goes out for elections, we have to keep track of everyone we can't deliver. So if we interfere in any way,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah, so,
But to be honest with you, we don't want that there because my customers use it as a parking lot. Because
Right.
especially ones that have trucks and everything else.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
They, you know, people have access in here, so they, especially ones, you know, nice trucks, all that, they park out there where they don't have to worry about their truck getting, you know, plus these are back out.
Right, right.
No, I don't want them there, like I told the county recorder. I don't want them there.
Okay, see, okay, and they were under the assumption that you have their blessing, so to speak. Okay, you just look. Ideally, you don't want you here, but
but you
know.
told him he could be there if he didn't step on the property,
right.
because that's all we can.
right, right.
Yeah, I can't tell them, I don't want you, I don't want you there. I was like, I don't own that. If you know, I don't want them there, no.
Gotcha. The Robert? What was his last name?
Wilbur.
Wilbur?
Wilbur, there.
He'll get the phone.
Oh, okay.
He told him he could be there. But we can't play in
Right.
politics.
No, I get it.
It's like standing on the sidewalk
Why do you think
up front.
I've been dealing with this call for
I know.
an hour?
I know. I called
'cause
my
of all the-
daughter. I'm like, dude.
Because of all the politics
I know.
involved in it. It's not
And
just.
see, we have such tight regulations.
Oh, yeah.
Like when the stuff comes out, because we can't,
Oh yeah.
like everything we can't deliver, we have to track as to why we
Oh,
can't deliver,
yeah.
why we can't.
No, I get it. Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh no, I can imagine. Yeah. And it, like I was telling him, like this stuff isn't my bread and butter. That's not what I.
Right.
You know,
this is a waste of your
I
time
just
for
have to
2 hours.
Right. I have to attack it like a trespassing.
Right.
You know.
But it's not.
It's not. Yeah. It's not your typical
He's
trespassing.
in public. He's on.
He's
basically.
well, technically he's on Robert's.
Robert's property, but not the post office.
Yeah.
So to us,
Now, for Robert is like, yeah, I don't want him there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I think Steven had it.
No, I know. And I wrote that phone number. I gave him my copy. I wrote a copy on
Oh,
my
shit.
paperwork. Now my paperwork's missing. I can't even call
Oh,
him.
he's probably gonna call me back. Not a big deal.
If he calls you back, will you give us that phone number?
Sure. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he misplaced his.
I don't.
Yeah.
I gave him the card.
I know.
I wrote a piece of paper
Yeah.
up there to be pinned up. Now it's on my desk.
You gotta get phone.
I don't know what
I haven't touched the desk.
Doug, are you the supervisor?
Postmaster.
Postmaster. Oh, nice.
So if you get a Robert Hoover.
Doug, what's your last name?
Hoover, H-O-O. V is in Victor, E-R.
Okay, a good phone number for you? Okay, and if Steven, I'm sure will call me back, the county guy, and I'll get Robert's phone number for you. Because if he's like, no, I don't want him there. Hey,
That's
sorry.
right.
Yeah.
That's what says trespassing. That's what I call my. I came from Washington, and we have like an off place up in Washington. I had to take a lot of people off, like Bellevue and all that. It's real high class,
Right.
high money. And I say, they go on their sidewalk day, so I come back on the property. I had to go back out to the step on the property, going around the place.
Yeah.
So they go down on the property. I say, you're on the sidewalk, which is fine. I say, you step on the property. You're out.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, I've been, not even calling here. I don't know. I mean, I know it's real wide the way that works, but I just would want to verify how Arizona did anything different.
Yeah.
And my input goes, no, you got a good donor to say trespass. That's okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I called that recorder. So I'm like, man, this was going on. And he did the exact same thing he did about the black market system. I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know the black market system because the owner owns that, but we don't.
Yeah.
At least that part of it. We want
Yeah.
to.
No, I get it. Yeah, you're going to be eventually. So cool. Well, I'll hopefully try to get. Do you know Robert personally?
He'll call me and ask me, and I'll tell him flat out. We don't want to lay there because our customers' property.
Yeah, I'm sure. Because he's basically like your landlord almost.
He is the landlord.
Okay.
We pay him a lot a month to rent the lease this building.
And you said last name was Wilmer?
Wilbur.
Wilbur?
Wilbur.
Wilbur.
W-O-B-E-L-L-A-R.
Wilbur. Okay, sounds good.
Him and his brother own a lot of
If it's in our
postal
system,
lease
so that's
buildings.
why
Oh, okay. So it's very lucrative.
Like,
But if you need me, I'm Deputy Mesa. So
okay.
yeah, as of now, I'm not going to 86 them. But if Robert calls me and says, "Yeah, I want him gone," I have no problem doing that then.
Just tell them, that's your property, and they're sitting there harassing your customer.
Yeah.
Post office that was harassing us, but we can
Yeah.
do whatever he can.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, dude. Thank you.
So basically, you would just have to put up a box, tell us you're there.
You guys are making me work hard today.
Getting exercise.
Yeah. So there's some discrepancies. So
Oh, let's get Mike, because Mike's the
Yeah.
one that talked to him, not me.
basically the original lease, it's owned by someone else, by a third party, a guy named Robert something, and he leases it to the post office. So originally it didn't have this portion. So this little area is a little bit in limbo at the moment.
I'm the neighbor, Tracy Blocker. I'm also part of the recall effort. So I just was texting with Mike. So I'm concerned you got two 78-year-old people here, and it sounds like they're being roughed up or something verbally or intimidated, and I'm concerned about what's that all about. And I'm a retired Army veteran, and I think we have the right, and we were told we had the right to be here.
By
the people at the post office.
Okay. So as I was
And I'm Tracy Blocker, by the way.
So it's like kind of in the middle of explaining. Right now, this area is a little bit in limbo.
And we've been doing this for how long?
January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's owned, like I said, by this guy Robert. I'm going to try to get in contact with him. Ideally, what he wants is to rework the contract with the post office to include this, to add more parking spaces and stuff like that. So that's why I say it's a little bit in limbo. That it's eventually going to be all part of the post office.
That's neither here or now. What I'm hearing is, this guy David Stevens came here. He attempted to try to intimidate these fine senior citizens who are exercising their civic right, And then he's able to get, because of who he is, he's able to get on, call you. And was it 4 cruisers that came?
4
4
cruisers.
came out here. I bet Tracy Blocker, who's a retired veteran, served my country. I just live right over there. I bet I try to call the deputy sheriff, and I'll be lucky to get a guy maybe in an hour.
That's not true, but
but I'm saying, why did it take 4 sheriff deputies to come here for 2 senior citizens?
How many deputies? How many deputies spoke to you? Okay, so they were just in the area. I get where you're getting.
Surrounded by him, Tracy.
No. I get it. I get it. And you know, he and I, he's my neighbor across the street. We've had illegals coming down our street, just marching down our street, and we don't see a deputy sheriff. We don't see border patrol. But yes, they finally came.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, the optics here is David Stevens comes here. We've been doing this since January. He gets on the phone and bam, 4 deputy sheriffs here. And yeah, Tracy Blocker, I'm upset because I'm like, what the heck? Are these kind of Gestapo tactics? We got senior citizens. What threat are these guys here? They were told by the post office to be here.
At any point were me or Deputy Wright at all aggressive to you or
I'm talking
intimidating at all?
But what about Mr. David Stevens?
He was horrible.
Yeah. And then I'm just telling you, I respect the law. I respect law enforcement. If I have 4 deputy sheriffs coming at me, I'm going to feel intimidated. Whether you say anything or not, because he's trying to say, I'm trying to send a message, buddy. You shouldn't be here.
So let me get some words out.
Yeah.
So I discussed this with my supervisors. I called my boss. He called his boss. They even walked down to the county attorney's office. So as of now, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine. So the only scenario...
But we sent he sent the message. Guys, I'm watching y'all.
Yeah. So the only scenario...
And you know what? The deputy sheriff, they're on my side. Because I can summon them at will to come and intimidate y'all.
Yeah.
These could be...
Prior to today, I don't know David Stevens. He's not a buddy of mine. We don't drink beers on the weekends. I don't know him.
I don't know him either.
I don't want to know him.
Other than what I hear in the media.
To me, he's Joe Schmo citizen who called this in.
But I bet there are folks in your office that know him.
I'm sure.
Is that the guy that was here?
The tall guy?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. I had no idea who he was. I guess he works for the county.
I'm sure you follow local politics. You know he's our recorder. He's our county recorder. Don't you vote?
Yeah.
So you know who runs, who's in office. You know who our sheriff is. You vote for him, I assume.
I eat at McDonald's. I don't know who the CEO is.
Come on. But I'm saying, I know you have a job to do. I was a soldier in the Army. I didn't know everything about the Army, right? I was an officer in the Army, but I knew my part. I knew my role. I know you know who your sheriff is. I know you know who the DA is. Okay. But they all have a piece. And all I'm saying is it smacks of intimidation. We've been doing this for a few months now. I personally came over here and I worked with Mike. Right here, we were told you can be right here, no issue. And then all of a sudden, on Friday, March the 31st, it's a big deal. And I'm talking, I got 2 senior citizens. These are my neighbors for how many years? Great people out here exercising their civic duty. And 4 deputies at the call of the county recorder comes out here. And I think it was intimidation, plain and simple. And I hate it that you, the deputy sheriff, like you said, you don't know who this guy is, but y'all were used.
Actually, I didn't. I don't know if you saw me pass the first time. I actually going to a welfare check call. So this was not he calls and we had guys running lights and sirens here. I actually, because I'm like, well, this car's. It was a reference, a drunk guy on the highway. I'm like, that's probably more important. I'm gonna go to that first, make sure this guy doesn't get schmucked. Then I'll come deal with these, what's going on here. So the only scenario where I feel like this could change is evidently it's owned by a Robert. I don't have his last name right now. Wolliver or something like that. A Robert Wolliver. He's the one that leases the land to the post office.
What if you could give me that information?
Which
deal with
press,
him
you
the same
know?
way I dealt with him.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
And well, I'll talk. I'm hopefully going to talk to him. And
well,
so
I'm hoping
the
Tucson
post
picks
office
it
is
up.
like I said, this is kind of in no man's land right now. It
Video
will
media.
eventually, hopefully, be part, but not until they rework the lease. And I'm sure the cost of that lease is going to go up with this new parking lot area. So right now, Robert's the only one who could be like, yeah, I want them 86th, or not, or they're fine.
Well, if you could let me know how to contact him,
Yeah,
I'll contact him the same way I did these people.
yeah,
And if he doesn't want me here, fine.
yeah. I think it's their preference. The post office's preference. You weren't here. They're not at liberty to tell you to leave or not. If
They were nice to us.
and not to say that he hates you guys. There's nothing about not liking you. He's like,
You were here at the
ideally,
No, I was here and he came and he talked to us and
like,
told us,
it's
just
one of those like,
y'all just
ideally
need to
I would
stay
like him
over
not here because some people park here like in trucks and stuff like that.
This is the owner of the whole property.
Ah, sweet. Okay.
You have to write it down though. That's my postmaster's only copy.
All right.
No,
You can
this
have
is
it
we
too.
rent this part. That is
Are you
his.
from the post office?
Yeah. I know. I know.
If you want to take a picture of that,
So I sat,
or write
I
it down
came
or
out
something.
here and I sat over here in a chair, and we let people come and approach us.
Exactly.
And most people are very pleasant.
And that's
and they
what the
have
postmaster
discussions.
said. As
And-
long as you don't go on there,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing he can say or do. So
Yeah.
he can call the landowner. That's the only one who can say or do anything.
And then we've been doing this for weeks
I
upon
know.
weeks.
I know.
And now this guy, the county recorder, David Stevens, who is buddy with Tom Crosby, wants to come over here and intimidate two fine senior citizens.
Let me try.
And
Is this
I
520
spoke to him.
perhaps?
Actually, David Stevens called it.
Let's try both.
Or so because I came out and told him.
Oh,
that
really?
day that he called.
Uh-huh.
And I called my postmaster. My postmaster called his boss, and his boss, Pablo, said that we don't own or lease this property.
So he's playing this.
We lease the parking lot.
Oh no, we appreciate it. So for a week and a half, he was planning this so that he could come and make a scene. So I think if anything,
I saw that when I got here.
we should be allowed to file charges against Mr. Stevens for.
Hello, Mr. Wolver. This is Deputy Mesa with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office. I'm calling in reference to the land here at the post office in Hereford, Arizona. I was wondering if you can give me a call back. We're having some issues regarding a plot of land adjacent to the post office. This is Deputy Mesa with the Sheriff's Office. I could be reached directly at 520-559-4053. Once again, 520-559-4053, and this is Deputy Mesa with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office. Thank you.
But there's no need to do that. Civic responsibility. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I tried calling him. That does appear to be the accurate number. 530. Yeah, it threw me off too.
He must be up in Sacramento or somewhere up in
Okay,
there.
yeah. So I left a message with him. Hopefully he calls me back.
Okay.
So the ball's kind of in his court. If he's like, yeah,
Oh no.
I want him gone, I'll probably just call you. Hey, they prefer you to not be there.
I've been at the dealership trying
so,
to get my car fixed.
Yeah, it's kind of where we're at.
But I've been traveling.
And then I'll go talk to the next one and see if they're okay.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we don't care. I drive by. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. To be told, no offense, I ignore you guys and just go about my day. Oh, right, call. Okay, whatever. Go about my day. I think I'd seen you guys on Fry by the
That's me.
flower shop.
I'm just
like,
upset.
oh, hey, okay. I keep. So we don't care until someone else cares, and then we kind of have to care, and then we look into it. But where are you guys at? Are posted up at?
No,
Cool. Have at it.
when we get that, and I don't mean to, I'm just upset that, you know, we've been neighbors for, I don't know, 18 years. These are fine people.
They seem like it.
I'm an independent. I'm not trying to get in political violence. I'm a little sensitive now because all this stuff is on social media right now since Trump got indicted, and then this happens this morning.
Yeah.
And then to find out that our own county sheriff, who I trust, respect law enforcement as a retired military guy, just a guy that wants to see law and order in society.
Yeah.
And then to find out that at the whim of this guy, county recorder, 4 deputy sheriffs come on 2 senior citizens.
Yeah.
I just don't understand it. And so I'm like, what is their recourse? Candy here says, Tracy, I was intimidated. I was scared.
Yeah.
What is our recourse?
Yeah. And we can be at times. I get it. I don't think I have been intimidating during our interaction.
No, I'm not saying
But I could see where you're coming from. I do. Why there was 4, I don't know. Or there might just been.
But maybe because it was David Stevens that made the call.
Sometimes just how many guys are available, where we're at.
I got it. You come up with all sorts of reasons. How about the reason David Stevens called? And dang, we're going to respond to David Stevens.
The tall guy that was here, was that David?
I don't know.
I assume so. I didn't know who he was. Okay,
and so
the fact that David Stevens was the reporting party meant nothing to me. Deputy Wright, who y'all spoke to,
but it meant something. I bet it meant something to somebody in your office. But she just came out here and said a week and a half ago he called the post office to inquire about what they were doing over here. So he was already for a week and a half planning to have some kind of altercation. So this was set up, and y'all were just used in his little setup. And I'm hoping it backfires. She said the local media has been out here. I hope the Tucson media picks it up so that we can let the folks know in Cochise County that our elected officials want to use our county sheriff as sort of their strong arm to intimidate senior citizens. I mean, how does it not look that way?
So that's kind of where we're at. So I'll let you know. I have your number. I'll call you one way or the other. If Robert's like, yeah, they're fine as long as they're not doing anything harassing people, cool with me.
And you should be the first one to call.
And then, I don't know, maybe because like I said, the post office, I guess some trucks sometimes like to park here. So maybe, maybe he's like, well, make sure they're close to the highway as possible to leave this area. But it ball's in his court, in Robert's court. So.
In a given day, maybe one people park over here. Most of them park over there. Or down on the street and walk here. This gets congested. It's not really.
No, it's not. And that's why they're looking to expand it to maybe even have like a drop-off, drive. So I'll wait to hear from Robert, and then I'll call you one way or the other and kind of go from there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You guys have a good day.
Yeah, Deputy Mason, thank you very much.
No problem.
I don't really mean to give you a hard time. I'm just trying to understand what's happening, articulated verbally. I don't know. Am I sounding crazy?
No, I didn't know who this David Stevens guy is. I don't
He's
really.
our county recorder.
Apparently, and that's new. I learned something new today.
Yeah, and the elections director, she resigned, and he took over all her.
Yeah.
And right now he's being sued by our state legal system. Because of this.
Yeah. So, all right, folks. You guys have a good day.